Hello and welcome. Today we are revisiting mug cakes to make a cake parfait. We'll make the cakes both from scratch with a new improved recipe and from box mix for the easiest possible mug cake. Briefly, I'd like to say sorry for being so long between videos again. My lower back and I have differing opinions on how long I should be able to stand up, and it usually wins the argument. So let's get to our ingredients. For our mug cake from scratch, we will be needing 3 tablespoons flour, all-purpose or cake flour. Cake flour is better. 1 tablespoon cocoa powder, 2 tablespoons sugar, 2 tablespoons applesauce, 2 tablespoons coffee, a 1/4 teaspoon vanilla, and a 1/4 teaspoon baking powder. Okay, for our scratch mug cake, all we really have to do is put our ingredients into the mug and give it a good mix with a fork. While we stir that, let's talk about flour. This can be made with either all-purpose flour or cake flour. Cake flour is going to result in a lighter, more fluffy cake, and that is a result I tend to find better. All-purpose flour can cause it to be a little more dense, and if you stir too much, sometimes it'll get a little bit rubbery. That's also why we replaced the egg from a normal cake mix with applesauce. The pectin in the applesauce helps the cake retain its moisture while not becoming rubbery like it would if we used a half or a whole egg like you would typically see done here. The coffee can also be substituted with milk or milk substitute, or pretty much any other liquids. From experience, I would recommend avoiding spiced rum as the liquid because it was not tasty at all. Once it looks like this, we are ready to go in the microwave. For a 1000-watt microwave, we just need to microwave it for 1.5 minutes and it'll be pretty much done. Check it with a toothpick and that toothpick should come out clean. If your microwave is less than 1000 watts, you may need an additional 15 to 30 seconds. If your microwave is above 1000 watts, you'll want to start at about a minute and add 15 seconds at a time until the toothpick comes out clean. Once they're done, let it cool for about 5 minutes and you can eat it right out of the mug at that point, or do what we're doing here today with ours. Today though, we will be foregoing the instant gratification of eating it right out of the mug in favor of style. So we will be making a few different types of cake. This recipe is a fantastic example of a dish that the small form factor of a mug cake gives us the ability to make something that most people would never expect. In this case, a parfait that will use multiple cake flavors and a few other simple ingredients that make it look like we did a ton of work when it was really just a few minutes and it all comes together really quickly. So let's get on with what we need for the next cake. For our box mix one, we only need 6 tablespoons cake mix plus 3 tablespoons applesauce and 1 tablespoon liquid milk, milk substitute water. They all work fine. I would not try this with an angel food cake though, as that kind of collapses into a sugary mess that is not nearly as pleasant as it sounds. So, just like the last one, we just dump and go. We just need to mix it till it's almost smooth again. Quick note, you probably want the cheapest, most generic applesauce you can find. The more bland and tasteless, the better, to help the cake with lighter flavors such as yellow cake or vanilla and so on, to not be overpowered by some applesauce background flavor. This is honestly the better mug cake of all the ones I've tried, since cake flour is not something most people have on hand. In addition, they also have some dough conditioners and things in the mixes that help them get both a lighter and fluffier, moist texture, which is hard to replicate at home. Once it is almost smooth, we are ready for the microwave. Just like last time, for a 1000-watt microwave, it'll take about 1 minute and 30 seconds to be completely done. For microwave above 1000 watts, start with 1 minute and add 15 seconds till done. And for microwaves under 1000, start with 1 minute and 30 seconds and then add 15 seconds at a time from there. The sides of a mug cake will always be a little bit doughy, and no matter what you do, since the majority of the air expansion will be directed outwards, causing the very outer layer to end up getting compressed. This is because of the shape of the mug, and it really only has one direction to expand in, while the cake tries to expand in a 360-degree direction. So everything gets pushed upwards and the sides get a little compacted. Still, it is a small price to pay for cake in less than 10 minutes. So, now that we have a variety of cakes, let's put this parfait together. Starting with one of our cake flavors, we want to break off small to medium-sized pieces of cake and fill the bottom with it. You should bake your cake a little bit more than I did here, so the next layer doesn't flow right through it like mine ends up doing. I used yogurt as the middle to add just another fruit flavor, giving this version strawberry cake followed by blueberry yogurt. You could use, and often that's more commonly used, would be ice cream or whipped cream in place of where I'm putting the yogurt. Those are great for layers, the yogurt just works as well too. Then on top of that yogurt, I used some lemon cake to give it a nice citrus bite and cut through the sort of whipped cream, ice cream, or whatever you have in between the layers. And finally on top, a bit of whipped cream. I also made a second parfait for myself using vegan yogurt, fresh raspberries. On that one I used chocolate and strawberry as my cake flavors, and since I am unable to have dairy, I skipped the whipped topping. So today we have made a nice cake parfait from mug cakes. Mug cakes are actually a great quick dessert, and with a bit of creativity like we used today, you can make something a bit more fancy for a date night or something, or just for fun, and you're able to kind of step it up. And it's great for people who are only like 2 or 3 people, because then you're not wasting a whole cake and things like that. So it really does work out nicely that way. So, as always, I would like to thank you all for watching, and if you've not already subscribed and you enjoyed this, subscribe for more like it. And with that, I hope you have a great day and a great meal.